Hello and welcome everybody to the RSCon 5. That's the 5th RSCon 3-day free web conference for educators in general, and it's about wow moments for educators. I have the privilege to welcome you to David Dodgson's session, Breaking the Learning Blocks, Minecraft and Language Learning, a fascinating project he started with his students. And can I ask those in the audience perhaps to leave a little comment or two in the text chat about whether you're into language learning or what is your professional background. And whilst you're doing this, I'd like to introduce to you David Dodgson, who is a teacher and teacher trainer and is currently between jobs as he's waiting the start of his new role as a language school coordinator in Gabon, Africa. He has worked with young learners in Turkey for many years, and he's also active as a teacher trainer and freelance consultant. He has an MA in EdTech and TESOL from the University of Manchester. His main interest lies in finding ways to personalize the learning experience and connect the language learned with a student's own interests. This interest has currently led him to explore the possibilities of game-based learning and how the interest and enthusiasm learners have for gaming can be transferred to the classroom. Without further ado, over to you, David. Thank you for joining us. From Turkey this time, right?
Yes, I'm still in Turkey at the moment. I actually finished my job here about 2 weeks ago. Since then, I've been away in Kazakhstan for some teacher training courses, and now back here to pack up my house. I'm currently sitting in a room surrounded by boxes. Originally I was planning to kind of miss out on RSCon this year, but I guess when Shelley Terrell comes and asks nicely, it's difficult to say no. So here I am. Anyway, welcome everyone. Thanks for giving up part of your Friday to attend the session, and just been interesting to read your comments about the context you work in. So we seem to only have one other language teacher, but I'm going to share some ideas about how I've used Minecraft with my students in an English as a foreign language setting, but hopefully some of the things will be applicable to other contexts as well. But before we start, let's just find out where you're from. If you could just try to click with the pointer onto the map, and just roughly shows your global location, if possible. If not, just write it in the chat box. As Heike said, I'm currently in Turkey, in Ankara, but not for much longer. Soon I will be starting a new adventure right there in Gabon. Okay, so we've got people here from Florida, Brazil, Hawaii, very nice. No whiteboard tools, okay. Excuse me. I think we have not enabled those. Okay. Well, we've got everything from the chat anyway. So let's get started because we're running out of time. So as I said, my main focus is going to be on Minecraft and language learning, but there will be things I'm sure you'll find useful for different educational contexts as well. And I call this breaking the learning blocks, kind of a play on one of the main features of the Minecraft game, breaking the blocks, and also because I've found this has been a great way to tap into the imaginations and the creativity of some of my more reluctant learners. So first, just a little bit of an overview of this game, Minecraft. What is it exactly? I'm sure most of you have heard of it. Maybe you've played it, or your students play it, or you have children at home who play it. Now, Minecraft is a bit of a phenomenon. It's become one of the biggest selling games of all time, and it's also an indie game, so not published by one of the main game publishers, but just originally started by an individual who is now running quite a large company based around this game. And in short, it's a game about breaking and placing blocks. The players come into a generated game world, and they have to manipulate the landscape, find resources, craft tools, craft objects, and make things, create with it. Some people call it kind of digital Lego, although obviously it's a bit more complex than that. And this is it's a kind of open world and sandbox game, which means you can experiment. Just like a child in a sandbox, they can do all sorts of things with their imagination. This game is very much like that. There are two modes to this game, a creator mode and survival mode. Most of the things I will talk about involve the use of creator mode, because there really the limit is only the player's imagination, as they get unlimited resources to do as they wish. With survival mode, there are extra elements like surviving nighttime attacks from zombies and creepers, which are maybe not so suitable for the classroom, so I generally go with creator mode. Now, as I said, my main context is language teaching, specifically English as a foreign language. So, how exactly can this game be useful for learning and language learning? Well, first of all, there are no rules, which means no limits. The only limit the students have with this game is their imagination, so it's a real opportunity for them to be creative. And it's very interesting. It kind of has this very simplistic gameplay style, but at the same time, that opens up all kinds of opportunities for complex and creative moments. I mean, I believe as a teacher quite often we need to kind of simplify what we do in the classroom to give the students a bit of space to think and to create and to be imaginative, and that's exactly what this game can do. Now, when we specifically talk about English language learning, there is this whole community around this game of Minecraft. I think when it was originally released, the creator of the game quite deliberately just released the game without any real instructions, and then immediately people online started to kind of go to forums and different websites and talk to each other and say, well, have you tried this game, Minecraft? How do you play it? What are the good strategies and good tactics for it? And this is built since then, so as well as forums, we now have YouTube videos where people record things that they have created in the game and they kind of explain how to create it. There are different websites which explain this in written form, and most of these resources are in English, so it's a great way for my students to kind of interact with the language. But I'm going to start telling you a quick story now. You can see on the screen two books which are connected to this Minecraft game, the Beginner's Handbook and the Redstone Handbook. Now, the Beginner's Handbook, I noticed earlier this year, like back in October or November at the start of the academic year, that a lot of my students had this book in class. And it was a Turkish version. And they would spend their break times and their lunch times reading this book. I have an 8-year-old son who started to show an interest in Minecraft, so he asked me to find this book for him. And I went to a local bookstore which also stocked some English books, and then I managed to find it in English, so I got it for him. And then also while I was there, I saw this other book here, the Redstone Handbook, also in English, so I got those for him. Then my son took them to school to show his friends, and one of my son's friends has an older brother who's in my class. And by lunchtime of that day, I had kids from all of my classes running up to me saying, "Teacher, Mr. Dodson, has your son got the Redstone book? Where did he get it? How did he find it?" So I told them the name of the bookshop, and then I said, but it's only available there as an imported copy in English, not in Turkish. And they just said, okay, fine. And sure enough, by the end of that week, I would see 3 or 4 kids in each class who were sitting down with the English version of this book, carefully reading through it in their break time and lunchtime, and talking to each other about it. So then I kind of saw something that their love for this game really motivated them to engage with a book that was actually written for native speakers. And you know, these are students who are often reluctant to read even short stories, so that was something great to see. But now I'm going to let my students tell you a story. This is from the first time I kind of allowed Minecraft to come into my classroom. This was 2 years ago now. I was working with a class, and we'd just done a unit on storytelling, and they had a project at the end of the unit to write their own story. So I set my students into groups and asked them to together come up with a story. In one group, 2 boys and a girl, I noticed that they were kind of sitting quietly. They were not really doing anything. And I went over to try to give them some ideas and encourage them. And, you know, they were kind of reluctant writers. I was letting them work together because they were friends. I thought they could help each other out. And then one of the students said, well, could we set our story in Minecraft? So I said, well, okay, why not? And then suddenly they came to life. They started talking to each other a lot. They were writing down all kinds of ideas, and they were actually more active in their preparation than a lot of the other groups. Then they had a week to complete the project, and they came back to me a week later with a PowerPoint slideshow, which they showed to the class, and they read the story. Now, we don't have time, I think, to read through all of it, but bear in mind that these are 10-year-old Turkish students who have been learning English for between 3 and 5 years. And these are also 3 students who are quite reluctant writers, didn't have a very good track record of completing assignments or doing homework. And suddenly, they came to me with a story like this, which up in front of the class, and they read this story out to them. At the beginning, each of the 3 students had written a different part, as you can see up on the screen now. And so first of all, I was impressed that these students had suddenly produced this great project and this fantastic story. And also I noticed the other students in the class were very keen to listen, and you know, there were no interruptions, no distractions. They were all listening very, very carefully. So then later, after they finished this thing of the story, and together with this PowerPoint, I put it on the class blog. And that became, within one day, the most read post on that page. And then the other classes started to see it. And then it kind of snowballed from there. I started to, every time we had an assignment or project work to do, I had students. I think this gave me, showed me that this is a really good way to get students engaged and to tap into their potential a bit more and get them more enthusiastic and more creative. Another example, then we later did a unit on unusual homes, and one of the project choices was to design an unusual home, and one kind of a home that had been featured in our unit was a tree house. So I'm just going to quickly share this with you as a video. My boys together, they each went to their own homes in the evening, and they logged onto Minecraft together and created a treehouse. And then they took screenshots of it, and they compiled the screenshots together to make a video. I'm just going to show you that video now. Hopefully it will play. I'll just pause my webcam while I do that. Okay, so I think we're back in the session now. The video did continue a little bit more, but I think that was enough to give you an impression. Now, obviously, there you will have noticed some language errors, some spelling mistakes, and some kind of strange uses of English, maybe. But the important thing for me here was I had 4 boys who, again, were maybe a little bit reluctant to join lessons sometimes, not always completing their assignments and homework projects. But here, they planned this in class, and then they went home, collaborated online together, and came back with this nicely prepared and edited video a week later. Another one, I won't show you the video because we may not have enough time. This is a landmark in Ankara, the Atakule Tower. Currently, it's closed for redevelopment, so I asked my students as a project to propose a redevelopment for Atakule. And on the right-hand side of your screen, you can see one of the many versions of Atakule that I then saw in Minecraft. I had lots of students independently of each other who went home and rebuilt Atakule, sorry, in Minecraft. Some of them then took screenshots, printed them, and created posters. Others then made videos and kind of gave us a guide of their new version of Atakule. Now, the thing about using Minecraft in the classroom like this, I mean, you may notice the things I'm telling you about, I'm not really using it to teach them anything. We just kind of brainstorm ideas in class, and then they are going and working on these projects by themselves. And I think this is one of the really powerful things about it. As I said at the start of the session, one thing I try to do in my lessons a lot is to kind of make things simple, get rid of a lot of the material that we're sometimes weighed down with the course books and the workbooks and the homework assignments and the worksheets and all those kind of things. I kind of try to simplify it all to give my students some room for creativity, and this is exactly what I found that this game does. And here are some other things which I've seen in class over the last 18 months or 2 years. We studied some things about the natural world, and I had some students, you can see the screenshot here, who kind of created this volcanic event and this lava eruption in Minecraft and recorded a video, and then they showed the video in class. The video didn't have any sound, but they showed it in class and then talked in class about and gave lots of information about volcanoes. I had another one, we read a story about a ghost ship, and I had a group of boys who, as a project, when we finished the story, they recreated the finale of the story in Minecraft with the hero characters storming the ghost ship and defeating ghosts. And yeah, as I mentioned, with Atakule, recreating and designing. Another thing we had a unit about the natural world, and I had a student, so you can see a screenshot from his video here. He created these animal pens and put all these different animals from the game in, and then in his video he recorded himself talking about the different animals and giving different information about them. I've also had students showing how-to guides. So, for example, they show their friends how to make, for example, a treehouse in Minecraft, or how to make a mansion in Minecraft, and these kind of things. So these are all useful ways that I've found my students have really kind of opened up and started using the language. In the past, when we've just kind of followed more traditional project forms, where they maybe prepare a poster or a PowerPoint, the student maybe doesn't get too enthusiastic about it. I mean, of course, I've had some wonderful projects like that, and I still get them. But there are some students who kind of are not fully engaged by that. But allowing them at least the option to use something like Minecraft to give the project kind of really opens everything up for them. And I have students who are shy, but they are happy to then go away and record themselves speaking into a microphone and screencasting part of Minecraft. I have students who maybe we have some behavior issues with them, or we have some issues about lack of engagement in class, but you give them the option to do something in Minecraft and suddenly they do it, and they display these wonderful technical skills as well, with taking the screenshots, screencasting the videos. And while they're doing this, I think they forget about the language. They don't focus or worry so much about being accurate with the language. They just try to be more fluent. They try to talk and explain and show things, so then their use of language becomes much more natural. Okay, well, I'm going to stop there. I hope you've enjoyed looking at those projects and me sharing some of my ideas. All of the ideas, I would point out, are from my students, not from me. Here are some links. I have a website, eltsandbox.weebly.com, where I write about using Minecraft and some other games in class. I haven't been updating it much recently, as I've been preparing to change jobs and move to a new country, but I'm going to pick that up soon. Also, in my new job, I've already put the wheels in motion to set up a Minecraft learning club. Okay, thanks for sharing the link. I also have a page on Facebook and Twitter. There's my email address also, and I've been curating a Pinterest board. I'll just share the link with you there. I'm adding some articles and some interesting things about Minecraft and education. If you have any questions, I think we have 1 or 2 minutes to take them. And I'd like to thank you all for attending, and I hope you found the session useful. Well, thank you, Dejan, for attending. So, any questions or comments? Okay, so Michelle has a question here. Okay, thanks for the comment, Karima. And have you ever tried an online forum for students to share their Minecraft play and learning, like quad blogging? Not really anything organized like that. I mean, we do have class blogs, and I've encouraged my students to share things there. I've had them share their projects and also other things they've done in Minecraft that were not originally created for the classroom. But as I mentioned, in the new academic year, I'm going to be running a club about Minecraft and learning, so hopefully we'll be able to set something up like that then. Karima says, do you find that girls are not so keen on using Minecraft? Well, I would say certainly a larger number of boys are initially enthusiastic about it, but I have had quite a number of projects created by girls as well. I mean, the story I showed you earlier in this session, one of the 3 students who wrote it was a girl. I also, in the last round of projects we did before the summer holidays began, I had 2 groups of girls in different classes who created their projects with Minecraft. I would probably say I have classes of about 25 students. When we do projects, maybe half of the students will do something in Minecraft, so about 12 students, and of those, 8 or 9 would be boys and the others would be girls. But I wouldn't say that the girls are not keen, and when we show those projects, they are just as interested in seeing them as everybody else. I just think that's more to do with maybe in general, boys are maybe more active when it comes to gaming than girls, but I wouldn't say the girls are not keen. Okay, well, if there are no more questions, then I think I will stop the recording and close the session. Okay, thank you, Michelle. And please feel free to interact, leave comments on the blog or the Facebook page. I'd be interested to hear about the things you've been doing as well. Okay, thank you, everybody. Goodbye. And yes, of course, don't forget to please fill in the survey when you've finished and logged out of the session. Okay, enjoy the rest of the conference. And maybe next time I see you, I'll be presenting from